Hello, welcome back to the channel. So this video is just a quick one of how I build recipes. I've chosen a simple Pilsner recipe just to show you the system I use, the beersmith system on the laptop, which I've also got cloud connection to my mobile, so I can use it on both, or tablet. I chose this Pilsner recipe because it's simple, and in the UK at the moment the temperature's dropping and it's just the right sort of conditions for fermentation. I don't have to use a fridge if it's not needed, so I don't have to use electricity for that. I can ferment this at the temperatures in like cellar temp, 10 degrees, and then I can use a fridge, crash it down, or I use like an isolation box and I can put it outside and store it in that box, and the temperatures will drop. So I've done that previously, and Pilsners have worked out, lagers have worked out really well for me doing that. So sort of helps not having to use the electricity as well. But it's just a, it's just something I want to do really. I don't have to do it that way. I could do a lager in the summer and just use the fridge to ferment it in, but it's one way of saving fuel. So the videos is basically me putting the recipe together, showing you the malts, the hops, and then we'll come back at the end. Okay, cheers. Okay, so I want to build a recipe and I want it to be a Czech lager style, similar to how a Pilsner Urquell would taste. So I've had a look on Pilsner Urquell's site, seeing what tasting notes I have. They do a triple decoction and they have caramel tones, crisp finish, sweet from the malt, and also bitter from Saaz hops. I'm going to be using Saaz hops and Hannah malt, which is the heritage malt, which was first used in Pilsen, and I believe it was first used at Pilsner Urquell. I know it's been brought back quite recently by Chris Maltins in the UK, so they've been able to grow some, and the homebrewers now got hold of some. So that's what I'm going to use in the recipe. So let me show you how I build my recipes. So it's quite simple really. This is beersmith, which I use, which I purchased on the laptop. So that's me. Batch size, well, that'll change when I change here. Go to mine, I'm going to do a 90-minute boil, and it'll be 90-minute mash. So I'll choose that one. Batch size now, 5 litres, 90-minute boil time. Efficiency, brew house efficiency is about 72%. It's going to be all grain. It's got today's date on there. This is just showing, this will build with colour once I start adding the malts, the fermentables. Then we add the hops and then the water, and I'll be using a lager yeast obviously for this one. So let's get started. I roughly know what sort of ballpark I want from grams. So let's go straight over to add the fermentables, and I'm looking for Hannah. There we go, Hannah malt, 900 grams. Can okay that. So down. Sorry, if I just show you down here, these need to be changed to a Pilsner style. So let's. There we go. So we've got Czech Premium Pale. What's that one saying? Rich, characterful pale Czech lager. Got Czech Pale Lager, lighter bodied, rich, refreshing, hoppy, bitter pale Czech. Yeah, I think we'll go for that one, Pilsner type. So click on that one. Okay, that one. This is a BJCP. Now all these will tell me if I'm in the right sort of ballpark. So it's Czech Pale Lager, and it will tell me here if I'm in the green, I'm sort of in the ballpark for the style within the guidelines. So start adding the malts. So start off with Hannah 900. So we want some colour in there. I want to try and keep it as, as much close to a lager. So let's put some Munich malt. And the Munich malt I've got is low colour, but I don't know if you can see that. sweet flavour characteristic, adds a reddish amber colour to the beer. Doesn't contribute significantly to body or head retention. Let's just put a small amount of this in. Let's go for about 100 grams. Okay. So now you can see the colour on this side is starting to come across. That colour, that estimated gravity there is 104.4, so we're actually not far off hitting that. So I may need to just lower the Hannah malt just so I can get some other malts in there just for the colour. I'll explain that as I'm going along. Bitterness obviously hasn't moved yet. The colour is at 5.2, so we're just on the border. We're going to come into it here. So add the next fermentable. And the good ones to add here would be Vienna malt. To go, so Vienna's description: darker than pale malt, not as dark as Munich, imparts golden to orange colour to the beer. Again, I keep this fairly low. I go for 0. Let's go for, say, 50 grams. You can see I only do small batches, so Paul's beer review just come up on the screen there. So we're at an estimated gravity now up near the top end, about 104.4. The colour is, again, it's just on that border, but I will be doing a decoction on this and that'll add more colour. But just so I've got some, I'm going to put some Malinodian, and I'll explain that when you see it. Hopefully it's, yeah, there it is. So you go, aromatic malt from Bamberg, Germany, promotes a full flavour and rounds off beer colour. Promotes deep red colour and malty flavour. You could use that in substitute of doing a decoction. So you wouldn't have to do a decoction at all. I'm just doing it as part of the process, to be honest. About 50 grams. Let's okay that. So I'm right on the edge there. Not too bad. But what I do need to add is some acid malt, just to get the pH of that mash down. So that will add a bit more fermentables to this. So I will adjust that Hannah malt down slightly. ABV was slightly up on here, 4.5%. But that's because our fermentables are slightly up as well at the top on that starting gravity, that opening gravity. So let's add some acid malt. Again, it's only a small amount. So acid malt contains acids from natural lactic acid, used by German brewers to adjust mash pH without chemicals. Okay, let's get that one in. A very small amount of this. Probably get away with about 50 grams again. And that will adjust the fermentables. There you go, you see that moved up. So let's go back to this Hannah malt. This is your base malt. So if I go maybe 8.25, see if that gets us back in the ballpark. Yep, 4.4%. I'd be happy if it comes out 4.4%. That's pretty much like a Pilsner well is. That all depends again on fermentation. It might not get there, it might overshoot, but I'm not too bothered about that. The colour, like I say, I'm going to do decoction, but we are in that ballpark. Looking at that scale, the colour's here, 7.5. Yeah, I'm happy with that. But I reckon we'll be more pushing towards this 11 once we've done the decoction as well. Now let's add some hops. So we want sour hops throughout the boil. It's a 90-minute boil. I want some at the beginning of the boil for some bitterness. Sorry. So that's well, we'll have to choose them. Yeah, that sounds got US origin on there. You can adjust this alpha acid. I can adjust that once I've got on my hops. All hops have their own alpha acids, and you just change that and it'll change a bit of this. But just for this experiment now, let's just carry on. So it's got the boil, the amount I need, bit less than what's on there. Let's go for, say, 8 grams. It's a boil step, steep 90 minutes. It's not dry hop, pellets. I'm using pellets. And let's OK that. Let's see where that takes its bitterness. So that's 1 step, 90. You see, it's just slightly moved. We're on there, 14.9 IBU. So then I will add another hop, another sours. And we'll put this around 60. So it's all hot side hops. And let's go, say, another 8. Another 8 grams on here. 60 minutes is okay. Yeah, everything's fine there. Pellets. Boil. It's not letting me. Why is it not letting me do what have I done here? 8 grams, 60 minutes. That bitterness now is up there at 28.9. So all I'm going to do is add one more addition of sours, just for a bit of flavour and aroma. And I'll make sure that's closer to the end of the boil. That's where you get the flavour and aroma from the hops. So we want sours. We want, say, let's go for, say, 5 grams. At this point, we'll change this now to take 10 minutes. 10 minutes before the end of the boil. That's okay, that. Slightly moved up. We're on 32 IBUs. We've got 5. So we've got 21 grams total of hops. I could push a few more hops there at the 5 minutes mark, which I think I will, just a bit more aroma and flavour. Go again, go low, maybe 4 grams. 5 minutes. That's okay, that. So there's my malts, there's my hops. I'm within the targets here for the original gravity. The bitterness is going up to the top, but I do know the decoction is going to make it a little bit sweeter, so that balance should come in there. The colour I'm happy with. Like I say again, the decoction is probably going to bring up more of this scale. And then you've got the estimated ABV 4.4. It is just slightly off, but I'll be happy if I get a 4% Pilsner from this. That'll be my aim. So the next part really is to add the water. So up here, water, choose the water, add water. So that's one here. This is the actual water report for me. And I want to target a profile, so match. So what I'm doing now is choosing a profile of water which would suit the beer. So I'm looking there, check, Pilsen, click on this one. Okay, and what it does now, it works out what sort of salts will be in there. But what I need to cancel this, because what I didn't do in the design is just down here, I want to make it so it's all in one. It's not going to have any steps as such. So I want to, my system, the way I do it on here, I want to have a light body. It's a brew in a bag type system, so it's water basically all added at one time. Go back to the water. Again, so it's telling me I'm going to need 10.69 litres of water. Let's match that target. Let's go back to the very bottom of here. Pilsen. Okay, and what it's going to do, it's going to tell me what sort of salts I'll need to try and match as close as I can to the Pilsen water profile. Okay. Let's okay this. Oops, let me double that came straight out of it then, didn't I? So it's saying here, I'm going to need 0.14 grams of baking soda and my water should be good to go. So I'll add that to the 10.69 litres. and then off I go. And it'll be basically the next step now is to get the grains together, the hops, and then off you go mashing. So that is basically I keep saying basically, I don't know why I keep saying that. But there's the recipe for my Pilsner. Give it a name, well, just give it a simple name at this point. So, Pilsner, and it's a YouTube version. Okay, that's all on there, 5 litres. That's what I'm after. It's all grain, boil times 90, today's date. There's the design, that's the recipe put together. Quite a simple recipe to put together. What I haven't added though, sorry, is the yeast. And which one do I use now? It's not Saf Lager. Saf West European fermenters. It's the one here, that's the one. So famous yeast strain from Weinhestofen, Germany, used worldwide in brewing. That's the one I'll be using. Click on OK there. And that's in there as well. You don't actually use a full packet for that. Use about 4 grams out of 11 gram packet, because it's only a small brew. And then this is all obviously fermented, colder. It's not ale temperatures, it's lager temperatures. And it takes a long while, but I have had success and they've been quite, well, me personally, they've worked out very well for me, the lager styles. So that's it. That's the Pilsner. That's what I'm going to be brewing. Just wanted to do a quick video of how I get my recipes, the ideas. I obviously research. I always say if I like a beer and I can research a beer, I'll try and brew the beer. So this isn't a clone of Pilsner. This is just a recipe I've just put. Well, you just see me put it together, and let's see what it looks like. If it's well, I may do a side by side with Pilsner. Well, but like I say, it's not a clone. This is just my version of a Pilsner. I just wanted to have a look at their notes on what flavours they're getting, and that's why I looked at putting that Melanoidian malt in there, the Vienna malt, just to try and get some of that crisp sweetness, bit of a breadiness. The SARS hops, which is well known to use in the Pilsner, just to get that bitterness and hopefully some slight aroma and flavours with that additions near the end of the boil. Okay, so I think I've covered everything on there. So really, it's just me putting that together now and then start the brew day. Okay, cheers for watching. Hi and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that video. So it's just a quick, well, it wasn't that quick, was it really? I was doing a lot of talking. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to show you how I build it up, where I get the taste, the flavours I want to aim for and what malts I'd use for that in a Pilsner. There is other beers, more complex, and if people comment and they want me to do them, I will do that in the future. I'll do the complex recipes as well, but just wanted to keep it simple really for the first time on the channel. So all the malts now weighed out, vacuum packed it, that's ready. So that is my malts for the 5 litres of a Czech Pilsner. Hops all weighed out in these little tubs, and what I put on them, you can see that's 5 minutes edition, there's a 90 minutes edition, so that's what I do. So just makes it easier on the brew day. Water's there, treated that with Camden tablet because I'm not brewing it today, hopefully brewing tomorrow, so that's to help get rid of chlorine from the water. And the baking soda, tiny amount there, that'll go in the mash tomorrow. And I'm also looking at doing a decoction mash, just a single decoction, so I'll get it up to mash temperature, and then 10 minutes before the end of mash time, I'm going to take a third of the malt out, get it up to a real high, up to a boil, do it for about 10 minutes, then add that back into the mash, just to try and get some more flavours from that malt decoction, but I have had that. So I did have the Malinodian malt, which can substitute for decoction, so covering both bases there really. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Comment below, let me know if there's anybody out there doing stovetop brewing and they're just beginning and they want any sort of guide. I'm quite happy to do so. Like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years now on the stovetop, and I enjoy it. And I think I'm no expert, but I've got enough experience to offer some guidance to people and advice. Okay, cheers, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.